Piedmont Triad area weather. Bone dry weather coming our way for the next few days. We're cranking up some heat, especially through the latter half of this week and into the weekend. Sunny for today with our high low 80s and pretty clear out there for the early morning. A low settling to about 55 degrees. Warming up to about 85 on Thursday with some sun. Dry and hotter weather Friday, the high low 90s. And we're sticking with the low 90s and plenty of sun for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore for News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes. Join me at 12 noon for the Todd Starnes Show as we dive into the latest in politics, faith, and culture news. You'll hear from top newsmakers and have the chance to share your thoughts.
Tell me something.
Don't miss out on the conversation that matters to you. Make the Todd Starnes Show your home for insightful discussions and lively debates on News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS, and WSJS.com.
The best projects start with family, and for nearly a century, families have trusted Black Sand Company for their construction and landscaping needs. From lush gardens to sturdy play areas, Black Sand Company has it all. Gravel, stone, topsoil, mulch, and sand. For the Triad and beyond, there's only one choice for quality materials and friendly service. Black Sand Company, 745 West Clintonville Road in Winston-Salem, or online at blacksandco.com, where quality meets tradition.
When your car needs some TLC, you want a name you can trust. Pat's Body Shop and Towing in Winston-Salem is that name. With over 60 years of experience, they offer comprehensive services like collision repairs, towing, and interior restoration. Proudly the largest single woman-owned auto shop in the U.S., they work with all insurance companies to ensure a seamless process and work as a direct repair facility for many of them. Pat's Body Shop and Towing, where your car story gets a happy ending. Visit pats-bodyshop.com.
Good morning, Triad, and welcome to the Daily Pulse with Steamin' Back.
Now you see me, now you don't want to talk, but I bet you won't.
Your front row seat to the voices, issues, and energy driving the Triad.
Let me calm down. Let me take it easy on, take it easy on.
Get ready to dive into the stories that matter most, the headlines shaping your day, the conversations everyone's having, and the local perspective you won't hear anywhere else.
Hold up, wait, breathe.
The Daily Pulse starts now on WSJS.
I'm really going to make myself feel a little bit better here this morning, give myself a hearty pat on the back. I couldn't have framed it better, y'all. Two teams clashed in game one of the Stanley Cup Finals last night. One really built for the moment, I feel like, with the other on a complete tear right now. The result, really, if we keep getting that type of game, we're in for a heck of a Stanley Cup Finals series. We'll get to that. Brand new Daily Pulse here with you, WSJS, and we appreciate you hanging with us midweek here. We hope that you'll jump in, get involved. Best ways to do it, at Stephen Beck TO, at WSJS Radio, streaming everything, WSJS.com. Video feeds are up. And if you see anything, you want to get in touch with us, really the fastest, most urgent way, phone lines open to you all the time, 336-777-1600. As normal, big hour ahead. Hurricanes last night, right at the top of mind as they got underway in the Stanley Cup Finals. But also in sports, starting tonight, you have the NBA Finals beginning as well. New York Knicks and the Spurs. And there's some bandwagoning that you always have to be accustomed to if you follow sports. My question for maybe those that follow a team like a Knicks franchise, does that kind of stuff bother you? Do you get really just perturbed at people popping up all of a sudden when your team becomes more relevant maybe than they normally would have been? I mean, the Knicks franchise goes way back. They play in the MSG, and they always have the star-studded rows out at their games. And so if you're somebody that has been rooting with and riding and dying with this team for so long, and they make it back to an NBA Finals, does that just really get under your crawl to see all these people coming out of the woodworks? We're going to get back to that. And if you just hang tight with us throughout this hour, we're going to play a little game this morning. DJ Turner back with us in the house today, producing for us this morning, riding along, and a little game that I've got off of items left behind in Ubers. Uber came out with their latest list of those things. They actually identified the day in 2025 where the most items were lost in Ubers. I don't know how they keep track of this kind of stuff, but they do. So we have items that made this list. The game is, which one doesn't belong? Just stay with us, and we'll serve that up to you. First, though, let's get you your latest headlines this morning.
Pulse check. It's what's happening right now.
There is a dense fog advisory, believe it or not, impacting parts of North Carolina this morning. I didn't see it when I drove in, but portions of the mountains, northwestern counties, you could potentially run into that. Visibility reduced in some areas through the morning commute. North Carolina lawmakers expected to take up major data center legislation today. The proposal would add new regulations on large-scale data centers amid concerns over power demand, water use, noise, and rising utility costs for those. Questions continue after additional human remains were reportedly found at a North Carolina rock quarry again. Investigators are working to determine whether the discoveries are connected. I believe I saw a touch of a follow-up saying that in Ruffin at their rock quarry, it was believed that the remains were similar. And finally, an 81-year-old North Carolina man gives us good news this morning. He was missing for several days. He has been rescued. According to state officials, a Marine Patrol officer located that man alive. Last night on the ice, and big for our state, of course, we had mentioned it was even hindering easy commuting travel in Raleigh yesterday. Hurricanes sadly come away with a loss, 5-4, game one of the Stanley Cup Finals. If anything that we saw last night, we're in for a series, boy. I'm telling you. These two teams, like I started right off the top, I pegged how these two teams were built and what trajectory they were on yesterday if you were with us. The Hurricanes, on the shoulders of their head coach, the identity that is driven by Rod Brindamore, they're just built for this moment. They were built to be a playoff team, had made the playoffs in the past 8 seasons, had made the Eastern Conference Finals, including this year, 4 times, had won a playoff series in all of those 8 years that they had made it. I mean, this team is a juggernaut of a franchise, and the roster that they've put on the ice behind their general manager, Eric Tulsky, that we heard from yesterday as well, it was developed around being a playoff team immediately, Eastern Conference Finals regularly, and I think I said yesterday, Stanley Cup Finals at their fingertips in any given year. Then, opposite of them, the Vegas Knights just on a complete tear. They changed their coaching staff, head coach position earlier in the season, immediately ran off like 7 straight wins after doing that. John Tortorelli has been around the NHL for a long time. He's bounced around. He's been with the Flyers. I think he's been with the Rangers. Now he took over a Vegas Knights team that they only had 39 wins coming into the playoffs. Doesn't matter. Once you get to this point, if you happen to get hot, strike gold right at the right time, sometimes that matters more than what you have produced on a regularity leading up to that point. And that's exactly the way it seems that the Vegas Knights are playing right now. Really the first time in the playoffs this year, watching, covering, following Hurricanes games as I would as a fan, that I've seen a team genuinely not flinch when the Hurricanes punched them in the mouth. I've seen other teams not have an answer, and last night, just tiny, tiny margins of error across the board for both of these teams. Anytime one of the two of them turned the puck over, made a costly decision in their own end, I mean, boom, next thing you know, puck in the back of the net. It started that way. Hurricanes were up 1-0 within the first 30 seconds of the game. Within the first 30 seconds of the second period, I believe, the Vegas Knights had scored. And really within the first minute and a half or two of the third period, same thing had happened. I mean, these were this game. I mean, like I said, you hate it if you're a Hurricanes fan because what I think it produces now is a serious hard look at game 2 if we want the Canes to lift the cup this year. But if you weren't a Canes fan, if you weren't even a Vegas Knights fan, maybe it's just you're just a sports fan and you're watching this 5-4 action. Wow, it was back and forth, lived up to the billing. There's a couple of factors out of this that you got to take away. I already mentioned one of those. Costly turnovers. Honestly, I think that's what cost the Carolina Hurricanes the game. And I tend to be in good company with that train of thought. Head coach Rod Brindamore afterwards said that turnovers were the cost.
Well, they're doing it like we're trying to do it, stay above you and put a lot of, they got some big guys, and obviously that was the game, right? They made some mistakes when we got in on them, and we made too many under that pressure too. So that's the game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like on both ends, in their own zone, if a puck was mishandled, if it was put in harm's way, it found its way into the back of the net. What I think that all this produces now, really, as we turn our attention, I believe next puck drop is Friday night, if I have that right on top of my mind. It might be tomorrow, actually. Let me look that up as we go here. But as we turn to game 2, what I think is that now the Hurricanes are forced into a must-win situation. I really do. I think that because of the home ice that they earned throughout this playoff stretch, that you got to capitalize. You got to take advantage. Crowd was rowdy, sold out. Everything lived up to the billing. Eric Stahl, Jordan Stahl, currently the captain for the Canes. Well, Eric Stahl, he was right there with them when they lifted the cup in 06. He was back last night, did the siren alongside of Con Knippel, actually, former Duke guard and Charlotte Hornet guard right now. So just everything was where it needed to be, other than some costly mistakes, other than facing a team that, like I said, is completely hot right now. And so now it is game 2 tomorrow night. I should clarify that I feel like it's pretty important, pretty vitally important for the Canes to try to scratch and claw and come away at least tying up the series before they flip over to Vegas. We'll take our break. When we come back, we're going to talk about bandwagoning fans here in sports. Knicks, Spurs, NBA Finals tip-off later tonight. Those are pretty big. I think the NBA got the best wish they could with that matchup for this year's Finals. Well, the Knicks in particular have a lot of bandwagoners, so we'll get to that. Plus, dogs are attacking people in High Point randomly. Next on the Daily Pulse.
Whoa, feeling good, feeling great.
Sunnyside Winds at WSJS.com is all about making those hot days a little cooler. Register now for your chance to win tickets to Monster Truck Mayhem in Winston-Salem, tickets to Ari Lennox in Charlotte, tickets to Craig Morgan and Neil McCoy in Winston-Salem, or tickets to Darius Rucker in Greensboro. Good vibes and great prizes are just a click away. So dive into Sunnyside Winds at WSJS.com.
Uh-oh. Hear that creak? You know what I mean. Your garage door's groan signals trouble ahead. Ignoring it could lead to costly repairs or even accidents. But don't worry. Precision Garage Door has your back with their Safe and Sound package. Enjoy a 25-point safety inspection, performance tweaks, lubrication, and a detailed diagnostic report, all for just $79. Keep your garage smooth and secure. Visit PrecisionDoorNC.com today. That's PrecisionDoorNC.com.
This is the celebration of a lifetime. The Voices of Freedom celebration. This Friday at Village Inn Event Center on Ramada Drive in Clemens. Celebrate 250 years of the American story with dynamic speakers and inspiring moments. Hear Clarence Henderson, civil rights leader, whose courage at Woolworths inspires us still. Don't miss this cocktail attire, plated dinner landmark event. Be part of America's story. Visit the Forsyth County GOP event page for all the details. Join us in honoring our past and shaping our future.
Play It Again Sports knows how to upgrade your game without upgrading the price. From first-timers to pros, they turn New Year goals into game day wins. Gear up, get out, and play it again, because sitting on the bench is overrated. Where sports get a second win, they offer secondhand gear with first-rate fun. Play it again. Experience the energy of the new year at Play It Again Sports in High Point, Greensboro, and Winston-Salem. Shop online at playitagainsports.com.
I was choosing alcohol over my family. That's when I made the call. Now I'm finding better ways to cope.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Biscuit King in High Point and Lexington serves the enormous, delicious, award-winning biscuits. Made from scratch and filled up with whatever you like best. Today's special is a 2 hot dog combo for only $8.19. Biscuit King. Delivery and online ordering available through BiscuitKingLex.com.
Between endless meetings, tea times, and a desire to improve your swing, finding the perfect golf show can be a real challenge. Hi, my name is Jay Delsing. I'm a 2-time All-American and a 25-year PGA Tour veteran. Join me Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. for celebrity guests, laughter, and tips to elevate your play. Golf with Jay Delsing. Hit the greens with us Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. on WSJS.
Come on out and play.
The Daily Pulse, the sound of the triad amplified.
It is the Daily Pulse, and we're all back together again here on WSJS. Thanks for being with us. 336-777-1600 if you need to get a hold of us in a flash. Best way to follow along, though, at Stephen Beck TO, at WSJS Radio there on social media. You can actually stream the video feed on both of those outlets, plus YouTube, if you'd like to watch and follow along. There's some off-the-wall stuff that just thought I'd mention. Spencer Pratt, right in a dead heat for the California mayor, I guess it's L.A., Los Angeles mayor's race. Then you've got Scott Pelley fired from 60 Minutes and CBS News yesterday after he, I guess, had a little tiff back and forth with some of the new bosses and production staff for the Tick, 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 Tick Sunday Gloom and Doom show. Then there's this story here, right in our backyard from High Point. It's not so much entertaining, though. It's alarming, I'd say, based on the outcome. Initially, what we get here is that there was a man and a juvenile injured both earlier this week after being attacked by multiple dogs in a High Point neighborhood. It was the 300 block of Meredith Street, they say. And it appears that a dog was attacking these people, or maybe a pack of dogs, it sounds like. And so a neighbor, kind of vigilante justice here, pops out with a gun and shoots towards the dogs to try to scare them off. I think injures one of the dogs, the neighbor, trying to come to the rescue here. All of that, I guess, you know, any town USA, you might just run into, and it is a thing. But when officers arrived, of course they're going to do that. Discharge of a firearm in the city. Somebody's calling, you got dogs attacking people. And it does say that the two victims both suffered injuries consistent with dog bites. When the police show up, it seems as if this wild, rabid, maybe even pack of dogs came charging the police as well. So now you've not only had a neighbor who had to fire off around towards these dogs, trying to disperse this really, rough activity that they're, I guess, ransacking Meredith Street and High Point with, but now you've got an officer that's jumping in, having to do the same thing. So he fires his weapon at the dogs, determining that there was an ongoing safety threat. I share this story because I think this month, maybe it was this week, this month, I can't recall exactly, but it's like Protect Your UPS Postal carrier, like dog awareness for Postal Carriers Month. I mean, again, on any given day, any given week, you probably are going to stumble into there's an upset dog, maybe a little overprotective. It charges up, it bites somebody, does something that, honestly, in some cases could kind of be instinctive for them. But this sounds like almost like these things are running amok with rabies or something really significant, like a pack of wolves almost, as police have to intervene here. Kind of crazy, but that's the story there from High Point earlier this week. Tonight, NBA Finals get underway, and I think the NBA was handed quite a gift with this matchup. You got the Spurs, you got the Knicks, two significant franchises that in their own rights probably historically are seen as some of the bigger teams, bigger markets for NBA basketball. Well, I guess my question as we get prepared for tip-off tonight, I don't want to spoil things. I'll take the Spurs if I had to make a pick. Knicks, of course, making the finals for the first time in about 30 years here. So, it pretty significant for them. But I just think, they'll be outmatched. Wemby is just a freak. And I think the Spurs will end up showing that going through everything Oklahoma City fired at them in the Western Conference Finals will actually pay good dividends here in this series. But for me, I kind of went back to a place. It was in the college basketball March Madness tournament. I am a High Point University alum, long time, huge Panther supporter. Worked with the team formerly, grew up watching the team, supporting them before I even was a student on campus. And when they beat Wisconsin, winning an NCAA tournament game, the amount of publicity, the amount of following, the amount of fans, the amount of people that came out talking High Point basketball, Panthers, they're the darling, like I said, of this NCAA tournament. I'm not going to lie. It kind of got under my crawl a little bit. All of a sudden, you have bandwagon fans. Now, for the Knicks, we know that they have guys like Ben Stiller, Spike Lee. They have, some of the biggest stars that sit on the sidelines. But I've seen it quoted. It's funny how Madison Square Garden's Celebrity Row suddenly doubles in size after the Knicks make their first NBA Finals. All of a sudden, people like Timothy Chalamet, who I know he's been there quite a bit, but he's relatively new on the scene. His girlfriend, Kylie Jenner, Jason Bateman shows up, Sam Morril, Chris DiStefano. Just all of a sudden, you got all these random people coming out. Think about the biggest bandwagon teams out there. I'm looking across the glass at DJ Turner, who you're a Duke fan.
I am.
I'd consider them one of these teams. Yeah, I've got a list here that I came up with that I compiled of these are teams that naturally draw the most random support and fans when they actually come onto the scene. I feel like Duke is one of those. Does that bother you? Does that drive you as batty as it does me?
No, not really. I mean, nobody can question who I pull for.
Sure.
I mean, I have been a lifelong Duke fan, and if anybody wants to just hop on the train, go ahead, hop on the train. Doesn't affect me really.
Yeah. But I don't know why for me, it's not like I want it to be exclusive. I feel like as teams grow, that large part comes from the fans jumping on and supporting. You could say Indiana Fever in WNBA basketball right now, Caitlin Clark. I mean, I'm sure their bandwagon has tripled since she joined up with that. The other ones I came up with, Yankees.
You're right.
Lakers.
Yep.
Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys.
Yep.
Alabama. Yeah, you got a lot of these.
Now, those people irritate.
You got a lot of these, though, that I'm sure there's a segmented portion of their fan base, just like you identified yourself with Duke, lifelong. Just like I said, for me, High Point, that's born and raised here. It's where I attended. I mean, I've got all those connections. I just look across at these Knicks, we'll just say stars, if you want to call them that. They put on their pants just like you and I do. And they show up, they sit courtside. It's a big whole scene, like a red carpet event. I don't know why that irritates me. I'd rather the people that have been cheering for New York, maybe born, raised there, grew up going as kids, I'd rather them get preferential treatment of tickets, sitting up front. Either way, the series between the Spurs and the Knicks, I think, like I said, I'd take Spurs in this, but much like we saw in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals last night, I feel like both will end up being really good series. We'll get towards our break here. Coming back, there's some things out there in golf, and it's completely changing the game. I'll say, when Bryson DeChambeau said that he was considering internet golf versus maybe coming back to the PGA Tour. At first, hearing that, I kind of thought that was a little strange. Maybe it's not as strange as we thought.
It's starting to take off.
Yeah. We've got another reason why I think that is. Plus, don't forget, coming up, the game. Which one doesn't belong? Uber leftovers. It's right here. The Daily Pulse will be back.
Post Malone and Jelly Roll take over Bank of America Stadium Tuesday night, June 9th. One of the biggest concerts of the summer. It's Post Malone live with the massive hits, the energy, and the party atmosphere. Joined by Jelly Roll for an unforgettable night in Charlotte. Win tickets on the drive and the Daily Pulse. Lock in on the best remaining seats now through Live Nation and WSJS.com.
Sweetie, come here. Don't worry. I see a lot of patients with the exact same thing.
Ever since the ice skating rink went in next door?
Or is it more than
Dr. Clark's business is heating up.
So many patients need my help. How will I find time to see all of them?
They need to hire a scheduler, stat.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Piedmont Triad area weather. Bone dry weather coming our way for the next few days. We're cranking up some heat, especially through the latter half of this week and into the weekend. Sunny for today with our high low 80s and pretty clear out there for the early morning. A low settling to about 55 degrees. Warming up to about 85 on Thursday with some sun. Dry and hotter weather Friday, the high low 90s. And we're sticking with the low 90s and plenty of sun for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore for News Talk Sports for the Triad WSJS.
Hi, everyone. It's Brian Kilmeade. Join me this morning at 10 a.m. for a fresh take on the latest breaking news. You got sports, politics, and entertainment. On the Brian Kilmeade Show, me and my guests dive into lively debates. We have discussions that matter to you. So whether you're in your morning commute or just starting your day, tune in for a unique wake-up call. Your home for the Brian Kilmeade Show is WSJS and WSJS.com. Let's explore the stories that all Americans are talking about. See you at 10 a.m.
This is Mike from Truth Broadcasting. When I had a problem with my garage door, was it great to have Precision Garage Door to call on? Scheduling was a breeze. A uniformed tech came right on time and found my problem in minutes. And you know what? He had the repair parts already on the truck because they keep their vehicles fully stocked. Fix my issue on the spot for less than half what I thought it would cost. So make your life easy and bookmark this address, PrecisionDoorNC.com. For homes or businesses, take it from me. It's fast, easy, and economical. It's PrecisionDoorNC.com.
It's only natural. You see these golfers mistaking the True Green lawns for an actual golf course. Have you noticed that?
Come on.
No, I'm serious. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know what it takes to get golf course quality lawns.
So you're saying we could host a tournament out back?
Well, yeah, I guess we can. Get your own golf course quality lawn at TrueGreen.com. TrueGreen.com. Let the pros handle the lawn. Just don't be surprised when golfers show up.
The Daily Pulse, the sound of the triad amplified. Your front row seat to the voices, issues, and energy driving the triad. Back to the Daily Pulse with Stephen Beck.
Yes, sirree. Back here with you, Stephen Beck. DJ Turner is producing for us, and this is the Daily Pulse up until 10. Hang in with you, WSJS.com. Stream along with us there. Plus, we'll tell you about a great way to click on Sunnyside Wins on the banner, how you can earn some prizes if you haven't done that already. That's coming up. Also here, coming up for you, we've got Internet Invitational that has a purse that is making internet golf a real legit thing. And I stand corrected in some ways, but also amazed at what they're making work instead of a PGA Tour, a Live Golf, a DP World Tour, the Korn Ferry Tour. I mean, now we're considering another outlet for players to game. And so that's coming up. Plus, there's a game for DJ to take part in with me based around a list that Uber put out from their most left behind, maybe strangest items left behind in Uber cars for the year of 2025. Got that list. We've put together the little game. Which one doesn't belong? I'll have DJ try to guess which items are actually not items that were left behind. But all of these things are just, we got some very forgetful people, but we also have some people that carry around some just strange stuff when they're trying to catch an Uber. So that's coming up for you. First, let's get everybody reset for our latest headlines. 1, 2, let's go. I guess west of the Triad, maybe closer to the mountains, there was a dense fog advisory put out. It did impact visibility, reduced, and the morning commute may be affected from that. So if you're out there and you saw a little bit of fog, you're not completely alone in that. North Carolina lawmakers expected to take up a major data center legislation today. The proposal adding new regulations on large-scale data centers amid concerns that they have a lot of power they need. They're going to use a lot of water, maybe noise, and other rising utility costs. Carolina Hurricanes fell last night in the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 1 against the Vegas Knights. We broke a little bit of that down for you right off the top. I just think they're running into a franchise right now in the Knights that just has caught fire at the right time. And honestly, they made some costly mistakes. Both teams, when they made a mistake last night, it was it was turned around and capitalized off of. And the Hurricanes, I think, laid it all out there towards the end. They had a minute and a half of pulled goalie time where they had a few face-offs in the Knights zone rifled off a few shots. Honestly, the one by Nikishin with like 5 seconds left that deflected off of a Knights player in front, that had its eyes on the back of the net. So it could have ended up being tied, go to overtime. It didn't. So now I feel like, for me, that forces a game 2 that is teetering on must win for Carolina if they want to pull out the cup here. Before we get to internet golf and a new purse out for an internet invitational tournament that's going to be taking place, I wanted to share some information about how summer can be fun for your kids. Make it something that they really look forward to. Get ready for an unforgettable summer with them by treating them to summer day camp at YMCA. The YMCA of Northwest North Carolina, it has 13 branches. Their website, ymcanwnc.org. Great place to go and check out and see more on their summer day camps. But here's a little bit of information if your kids are already bored at home and maybe you are already tired of having them there. The day camp offers great places for the kids to get out, still stay active, build friendships with other people, experience exciting adventures like swimming, arts and crafts, team activities, outdoor games. There's stuff for everybody and really a lot of different ages. Get them to summer day camp at the YMCA, ymcanwnc.org, or just stop in one of the 13 branches of the YMCA of Northwest North Carolina. In golf, I have followed the transfer back and forth between, is Live Golf going to survive? Is the PGA Tour going to allow players that defected to come back? I've stayed with those headlines a lot. I host a golf podcast for those that really love golf podcasts. It's called Between the Shanks. And man, you know, it's something I really lean into. I live and breathe it. I try to go play as often as I can. What I never really would probably consider coming into where we find ourselves today with golf is that a professional tour, a DP World Tour, Korn Ferry Tour, PGA Tour, Live Tour, that it would be rivaled as much as it could end up being by just guys that get together, play, and stream it on the internet. I mean, it's that simple, it seems. But here just this week, the Internet Invitational, which if you don't know much about this, it's only the second year that this is going to be played. It started last year between Barstool Sports, that organization, and Bob Does Sports, another golf influencer type of group of guys. They have podcasts, they have videos, they have stuff that they do as well, content, honestly, online. But they set out to create this Internet Invitational. They played it last year. There was controversies with it. And I think last year there was $1 million prize to the winner. I mean, that's significant. Don't get me wrong. That's already cooking with some peanut oil for me. I'd play in that easy. But now for their second year, that prize has increased by over 300%. All of a sudden, something that was a 6-episode series that had 30 million views online. We're talking, again, surprising right there from the get-go. First year in, now they're talking about a $4.2 million purse for the winner of this thing. I've got comparisons. It already beats out some of those other professional tours. But I gotta, actually point finger at self here and say, man, Beck, you were off. You were wrong. Because in part of the defecting back and forth and who's where and what is going to really happen with Live Golf, I still think it will cease to exist after this year. I still think that it's best for players that moved over to Live to try to make their way back to the PGA Tour. One of those, Bryson DeChambeau, had made a claim that he may not be considering really either of those. Like if Live folds, and that's where he's put in a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of time. I think he's an entrepreneurial spirit. We've talked a lot about that. If it disappeared, he didn't immediately say, yeah, I'd like to get back to the PGA Tour. I'd like to compete with the best players in golf. He said, I might want to do this thing called internet golf. And I heard that and I was like, yeah, that's kind of strange. How much could you really get from playing golf and putting it up on YouTube or putting it up on Instagram, Twitter, social media? Well, what you can get, I guess, are purses that are bigger than the average on the DP World Tour. That's the alternative tour that right now guys that are coming back to play PGA golf had to go and try to fill out their time, like Pat Reed, Kevin Na. Some of these players, they didn't have another option. They want to get back to the PGA Tour where you got to go play DP World Tour events first. And the event purse average roughly $3.5 million there. On the LPGA Tour, their average, again, another professional women's tour, $3.7 million. So you got a $4.3 million purse for guys to wear GoPros, have a production crew of maybe, 10 people walking around with some lightweight cameras and play golf for YouTube and Twitter and whatever else. What does this say? I don't know what this says about the future of the game. Either, I guess, what it draws a line in the sand is, do you care more about being a content generator, being somebody that, plays maybe for kicks and giggles and funs and laughs, or do you care about playing for world golf rankings, championships, more history-making elements?
So just to clarify, are we talking about simulator golf?
No, to clarify, they're on a real course.
Now, I have seen this thing where they're playing rounds of golf on a simulator for money.
Yes.
And Tiger Woods has played in this.
Yeah, so TGL, Tigers League, along with Rory McIlroy, to clarify, is an indoor league. They make teams. It was their way of combating some of the elements that LIV brought to the table and that players, quote unquote, said was a reason for them defecting over. Like, hey, we want to play as a team and we want to play less events and we want to play for fun. We want to wear shorts. We want to, change the game of golf. And so Tiger, Rory, they group together. They say, hey, yeah, let's come up with TGL. Let's do this fun little thing. And maybe that'll be our way as an answer against what LIV Golf is trying to do. This is, guys actually out on a real course, playing real golf, 18 holes, different styles of play, probably match play, stroke play. I'm not sure which one the Internet Invitational rolls with, but they're out there playing the game. It's just a different way of, I guess, presenting it to an audience. We're not talking. So I would say it correlates closely to something called the match.
Okay.
Golf fans would remember that. Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, before their careers both roller coastered in different directions, they would put on this big for TV, the match, heavy, significant prize money winning at the end, play as a team, just for fun, wearing personal mics, presenting a different way of golf. This is along those lines, but it has nothing to do with cable presentation, has nothing to do with a TV audience. It's all strictly for the internet. And apparently it can garner enough attention, 30 million views.
That's no joke.
Nope. And enough money to make it worthwhile. Here I am, hand up. Never would have thought that we'd get here. Bryson DeChambeau, I guess, is heavily considering moving to this way.
So what are the TV numbers for the Masters?
That's a good question. I think it's going to top out well over the 30 mil because the Masters is something that goes worldwide.
Right.
But
I'm curious.
Yeah, the latest figures, well, according to CBS, it's at 20 million. Yeah,
I had this feeling that 30 million number is pretty significant.
Yeah, that's the number. Now that stretches over, I'm sure, a course of days and time, just like the Masters would. But yeah, you're not joking. Hey, I thought I was forward thinking. I thought I was tech savvy. I thought I was hip. I'm just not. I guess I'm just an old fogey sitting in here. All right, we'll take our break. We come back. We got to save time for this. Uber puts out their list, forgotten items from last year. You'll never believe some of the stuff that showed up on this. So much so that I came up with a little game, which one doesn't belong. DJ's playing with me next on WSJS.
We are here for you.
Your brand deserves to be heard. At WSJS, we don't just broadcast your message, we embed it into the daily lives of our listeners. From morning commutes to late night drives, your message rides along, turning our loyal listeners into your loyal customers. We deliver results that matter. More calls, more foot traffic, more online searches. Let WSJS amplify your brand. Visit us at WSJS.com and click on Advertise with Us.
When it comes to flooring, they have no ceiling. Heritage Hardwood Floors, beautiful hardwood floors for your home or business. Owners Jesse and Catherine have been providing superior craftsmanship and service for the Triad since 2005. Heritage Hardwood Floors offers a wide range of quality flooring, including hardwood, luxury vinyl, carpet, and waterproof laminate. Go visit heritagehardwoodfloors.com and take a look at their project gallery to see their work. And when it's time to change the floor for your home or business, call Jesse and Catherine, your quality flooring specialist.
Drive it, love it.
This hour of WSJS Talk is brought to you in part by Crossroads Ford in Kernersville. Visit John and his team today. Crossroads Ford, the Ford store that gives you more. Find your deal today at Crossroads Ford on Highway 66 in Kernersville.
That first time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all of fatherhood's first, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life. Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Not available in Washington State.
A Gain Scent Bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain Scent Beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain Scent Beads. Try Gain Scent Beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
Hey, Josh Graham here. This is News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS. Catch me tonight at 11 p.m. for Westwood One Sports Night. You'll get my take on all sports. And Saturday and Sunday afternoons from 4 to 7 p.m. for the Josh Graham Show. Don't miss the up-to-the-minute scores and hot takes on everything sports. Because this is News Talk Sports for the Triad and the home of Josh Graham, WSJS.
The Daily Pulse with Stephen Back, connected to what matters in the Triad.
It's the News Talk Sports Station in the Triad, right here, WSJS Daily Pulse with you until 10, Monday through Friday. And don't forget Waking Up Proud, myself back on the weekends as well on Saturday, 9 to 11. We're about to play a game. Which one doesn't belong? DJ's honestly not going to get anything other than, whoopee, you did great. You could earn something, though. WSJS.com has Sunnyside Wins. You click on that banner. You give us a little bit of information. If you haven't won in 30 days, you can select a great prize like monster trucks at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds coming Saturday, June 13th. Ari Lennox at the Skyla Amphitheater in Charlotte this Saturday night. Tickets to the Classic Country Summer Concert Series. Craig Morgan, Neil McCoy there Friday night, June 19th. Tickets to the Songs of Summer Tour with Darius Rucker Thursday, June 18th. That's in Greensboro. And Post Malone and Jelly Roll coming up Tuesday night, June 9th. Also in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium. All those prizes, a choice that you could take part in winning. Sunnyside Wins at WSJS.com.
ASAP, what is his name? ASAP something or another.
ASAP?
He's supposed you got stuff for him too?
Yeah, we got it all. And actually, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, join us tomorrow. You got to be listening at the right time. You got to be tuned in right here to the Daily Pulse. We've got tickets directly for you to see Post Malone and Jelly Roll together.
Rocky, ASAP Rocky.
Ah, yes.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, we just that was just announced today.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We are loaded with giveaways, and it's like I said yesterday, one of the best kept secrets. People just don't take advantage. Sad. Got to do it. All right. Hear me on this. What is sad is that people leave their phones, their keys, their wallets from Uber, trips that they've made, and it's pretty accustomed that they do that. I've done it. Where are my keys? Can't find them. What I haven't done, though, is I haven't left a traffic cone behind in an Uber drive, before. Or a hoverboard.
Right.
Haven't done those things. Well, there's a whole list that Uber came out with from last year of the things that were left behind. That got me thinking, these are crazy. Hard to guess what's true, what's maybe not. So I come up with this little diddle. Which one doesn't belong?
Is it a diddle or a ditty?
Ditty. Diddle, diddle, ditty. And DJ Turner's going to diddle, little diddle, dee, 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 the game with me here. I'll say July 17th, not a good day for people, by the way, in 2025 that were riding Ubers. That's what they say was the busiest day people left things behind. I don't know how they came up with that. New York City, Miami, and Chicago, the areas where people are most forgetful of things. All right, DJ, lock in here. Which one doesn't belong? A toupee hairpiece, dentures with only 2 teeth, or a child's prosthetic eye? Which one does not belong?
Now, when you say it doesn't belong, is this something that was actually left?
Actually not left. The other 2 in the choice would be things that truly were left behind in an Uber.
I'm going to say the toupee.
You're right. Boom. Can you believe a prosthetic eye?
That would be pretty creepy.
Yeah. Was that popping out, or is that, left in a case, or is it just loose rolling around in the back seat?
Egads.
Crazy. Hope they left a good, stars or review of that driver. How about which one doesn't belong? A double door oven, a full-sized fridge, or an entire dishwasher? By the way, what kind of Ubers are these?
Okay, run it by me again.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. A double door oven, a full-sized fridge, or an entire dishwasher?
Just because the other 2 are so big, it's got to be the oven door.
Nope. Full-size fridge was the one that did not get left behind. An entire dishwasher left behind, and a double door oven left behind. Crazy. All right, here we go. How about between a chainsaw, a urinal, or a waterbed? Which one did not get left behind?
Waterbed.
Waterbed's right. Urinal, it was in there.
I bet.
And a chainsaw.
I bet. Jason.
All right, we'll keep our finger on the pulse for you between now and tomorrow. Be back at 9. Until then, stay right where you are. Brian Kilmeade up next on WSJS.
Bonjour, sports fans. Looks like you've caught the French Open fever. Grand Slam talk starts here. WSJS serves up daily updates from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Your front row seat to the clay court action. WSJS brings Paris to you. Get all the Roland Garros drama, where every rally makes headlines. Visit WSJS.com for all the scores and headlines. Don't let the clay settle without you. The only fault? Missing out. Paris serves the drama on WSJS.
You'll taste it and love it.
It's time for Foster Hobbs Coffee Roasters. Their specialty roasted beans offer pure, rich flavor, avoiding the plastic. Foster Hobbs Coffee Roasters, because your day deserves the best start. Get to their roastery for expert care and advice at 205 Neal Place in High Point. If you can't get to the store, shop online anytime.
You'll taste it and love it
at fosterhobbs.com.
Uh-oh.